Some years ago, when I was working for a high street recruitment agency called Blue Arrow, I was recruiting for a client in an IT company who had confided in me that she hadn't recruited in a number of years and was a little unsure as to how to structure the interview, and could I prepare a list of questions to ask the interviewees on her behalf. Now, the client was interviewing 3 of my candidates and 6 candidates from 2 other recruitment agencies. And so I offered to conduct the interview with her so that I could show her firsthand how the interview should be structured, what questions to ask, and how to interpret the body language of each of the candidates. If I'm perfectly honest with you here, my plan was to also gently guide her to taking on one of my candidates, who on paper was head and shoulders above all the other potential applicants. My tip-top candidate had all the IT qualifications the company was looking for and more. He was experienced, well educated, very dedicated, and had a wealth of relevant skills. Plus, he was also desperate for a new job, as he had just been made redundant and had recently taken out a hefty mortgage on a new property. What could possibly go wrong? Now, I'd organised for my top drawer candidate to go last and structured the interview questions in such a way that would be favourable for my candidate by dwelling on the level of experience of each of the interviewees, which wasn't a patch on my guy, making it a simple slam dunk, or so I thought. The first 5 candidates were all very, very good, so this wasn't going to be as straightforward or easy as I had originally anticipated. The receptionist brought my candidate into the interview room where me and the client were sitting. To my shock and horror, this chap swaggers in wearing mirrored sunglasses. Can you believe that? Mirrored sunglasses. That insult to injury, the time was 8:30 p.m. in the evening. Not a good look. I said to him, "Hi Peter, thanks for coming in on time and waiting so patiently. Just before we get started, is there something wrong with your eyes?" He said, "No. Why do you ask?" "Well, you're still wearing your sunglasses." Hint, hint. "And what's that to do with you?" Can you believe that? What's that to do with you? Trying to keep my composure, I said, "Well, it's a little intimidating interviewing you whilst you're still wearing those mirrored sunglasses." To add insult to injury, he said, "Well, that's the way it is." I could not believe my eyes what I was seeing. I just saw my placement going up in the ether. This interview was not going as I had planned and anticipated, and to make matters worse, my client was giving me daggers. I just told her that this chap was the best thing since sliced bread, plans of mice and men. At this point, I'm thinking to myself, how on earth am I going to turn this around so that I can try and snatch victory from the jaws of defeat? Then I had an epiphany. I said to the candidate, "I'm afraid, seeing as you're not prepared to remove your sunglasses, then you have left me with no choice but to terminate the interview." And I escorted him back to the reception. I later found out that he was sporting a black eye given to him by his wife, but that's a story for another day. I apologised profusely to the client, then agonisingly had to choose a candidate from the other agency. My epiphany was to sing the virtues of the other agency's candidate, at the same time playing on being able to unbiasedly select the best candidate for the company, with a view to being involved with the full recruitment process at a later date. And my plan worked like a dream, as the client asked me to sit in on all the interviews she was conducting, allowing me to get a better understanding as to the type of candidate she was looking for. And that enabled me to have a head start above the other agency candidates. To ensure I would never be in this embarrassing situation again, I arranged for every candidate who was sent on an interview to be given an interview tips and techniques guideline, which resulted in a 4-fold increase in my recruitment agency's interview to placement ratios. As a business owner, I believe it is your obligation to thoroughly prepare every person you send to an interview. By not doing so, you are doing yourself a disservice. You're also doing a candidate a disservice, and you're going to affect your bottom line. Please find attached a free interview tips and technique guideline document that I've used over the years to help increase my company's interviews to placement ratio. Now, these guidelines in no way guarantee that every person you send for an interview will be offered a job. But if you take the time to prepare every person for their interview, your candidates will come off more confident and capable. Your clients will be happier with the caliber of people you are sending to them, and you will close more deals.